For this project I was inspired by the so-called church scales or modes. There's 7 of them in total. Not only is this a biblical number, but the interesting thing is that, not surprisingly, in the music alphabet there are also 7 letters. We have A, B, C, D, E, F and G. And this alphabet is then repeated in every other octave. For instance, in the higher octave again, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. Now let's only consider the wide keys and play from A till A. We then hear what is commonly known as the natural minor scale. We recognize it as the minor scale because of the order in which we play whole tones and semitones. To give an example of whole and semitones, from A to B would be a whole tone, because there's still this black key in between, and from B to C would be a semitone. We can also play from B to B, which is not a very well-known scale or a useful one for that matter, and then we get this. And we can take it a little bit further and play from C till C. We then hear what is commonly known as the natural major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. Everyone knows that one, right? And so we can continue going through the alphabet from D to D, from E to E, from F to F, and finally from G to G, all on the wide keys. Now all of these 7 scales have their own character because of how we divide whole tones and semitones within the octave. And there seems to be a common understanding that you can order these characters from dark to light. The darker scales feeling more sad and pessimistic, and the lighter ones gradually more open, joyful and confident. The ancient Greeks already used these modes, and hence when grouped together as a bunch of 7, they're often referred to with their Greek names. Now let's run through them again in this order from dark to light, and then with their Greek names. The darkest one is considered the Locrian Mode, and it runs from B to B. The second one is Phrygian and runs from E to E. The third one is Aeolian. And yes, we already heard that one, more commonly known as our minor scale. The fourth one is Dorian from D to D. The fifth one is Mixolydian and runs from G to G. And then we get to Ionian, which is the 6th one. And there we recognize our Do Re Mi again, so our major scale. And last but not least, the Lydian mode, which runs from F to F. And this one is considered to be the most open, the most joyful, the most elevated mode of them all. Now, as I said in the beginning, these scales are also referred to as church modes, since many Gregorian chants make use of them. And so for this project, I decided to come up with 7 imaginary monks that act out one of the 7 characters by doing or feeling something in particular. As such, this series of compositions can be seen as a spiritual journey from dark to light. Okay, now let's return to the piano to briefly discuss all 7 pieces.